Is this sugar really bad for your health? I believe it is, but we'll find out today 5 reasons why sugar is really bad for you. Welcome back on the channel. Today we're going to discuss 5 reasons why sugar is really bad for your health. But before to start, remember to subscribe to the channel, click the bell if you want to get new updates on new videos, and if you like this video, thumbs up please. So, before to start with the 5 points why sugar is really bad for you, let's talk about, in general, about sugar. What we define sugar is usually sucrose, even if sugar is a broad range of different kinds of sugars. We have maltose, we have lactose, we have galactose, we have fructose, glucose. But what we usually define as sugar is actually sucrose, which is a bigger molecule, a disaccharide, which means composed by 2 different molecules, composed by other 2 smaller ones, which are fructose and glucose. Sugar is intensively caloric. If you think that 100 grams of sugar actually contain almost 400 kilocalories, to be precise, is 392 calories. The trouble for sugar is that it creates in our bloodstream peaks in the insulin level, so it raises the amount of sugar in our bloodstreams, and this creates imbalances in our body. There are basically 2 different sources to produce sugar. One is the sugar cane and the other one is the sugar beet. So, why it is so important to understand sugar? Well, sugar is actually an empty nutrient. It only gives us calories and nothing else. There's no other nutrients that are provided by eating sugar on its own. But what does this mean? Basically, it means that if you eat too much sugar, you increase your possibility to get diseases and to get sick. Sugar is considered actually a cancer for modern day, and the reason why is that we are adjusted our palate to the sweet taste of sugar, and every time we remove it or we reduce the quantities we add to our food, to our coffee, to our tea, to our cakes, we feel a sense of dissatisfaction, and we just get used to it, the sweet taste, and we don't like to remove it basically. But this is not the real problem, because the real problem is not the added sugar, it's not the sachet you add to your coffee, which is only 4 grams of sugar, and to round up is only 16 calories, because we eat much more sugar every day without knowing it. All the processed food, everything that we buy in our shops, in our grocery store, are packed of sugar. Dextrose is in most of the processed food. Even if you eat a breadcrumb chicken, sometimes you find dextrose in it. So we don't realize how much sugar we're eating every day. In some future videos I'm preparing, I will also go deeper into the sugar problem, and I will explain also what the alternative can be, how to reduce sugar drastically, step by step, because it's something that if you adjusted your palate through the years, it doesn't change like this. So, without any further ado, let's see the 5 reasons why sugar is really bad for your health. Number 1 can cause weight gain and then in the end drive you to obesity. And this, for us which are in Europe, we always thought that this was only a problem in the US, but we realized that year after year this problem is completely all around the world, and is increasing, especially in children. Obesity is increasing in children, especially because they tend to drink sodas, they tend to eat a lot of processed food, a lot of processed cakes and sweets, and the amount of sugar that is contained in this kind of food is huge. We don't even realize, and we only know because the labels are there, and by law they need to list all the ingredients from the top to the bottom, which the first one is the one in higher quantity and the bottom one is the one in the least quantity. And sometimes we realize that sugar in different forms are in the first 2 or 3 places. And then obesity is not only a problem of, it is not only an aesthetic problem. Obesity is also a very serious issue in terms of overloading your body with extra weight, and your bones and your joints are overloaded with weight, and this can cause, joint pain or fracture of your bones, and also there's a pressure that is applied to your internal organs, and this is why obesity is really bad, because it's not considered a condition itself, but it can drive you to many different other conditions. Number 2, can increase the risk of heart failure and heart diseases, and this is strictly connected with obesity. The reason why is that when you add extra calories and the body itself, the brain, start to store fats all around your body and your organs, you're applying pressure to your organs, but also your body starts to store the fat into the veins and into the arteries, and this can create some clots into your veins and artery, can cause blood pressure to rise, and because the blood can go through the veins properly, and this can cause heart failures because the blood doesn't reach your heart and then is not pumped properly to all around your body and your organs, and especially your brain, which is directly affected by the absence of oxygen. And of course, by having an increase in blood pressure, you're gonna create inflammation all around your body and especially in the cardiovascular system, and this can cause heart failure. Number 3, can increase the risk of cancer, and this is directly connected to a study that was done in 2012 on an amount of, I think it was 436,000 people. Anyway, you'll find the link in the description of the video, where they're basically feeding people, this huge amount of people. Half of them were getting a diet higher in sugar, while the other half was getting a normal diet in sugar content. And they noticed that the people that were getting too much sugar were starting to develop some kind of form of cancers. There were 3 types of cancers that were developing much more: the esophageal cancer, the pleural cancer, and the little intestine cancer. More studies are conducted every day, and this is something that is always, updating year after year, because it's a very sensitive matter and a very sensitive subject. But the field, is wide, is broad and complex, so a new study will come in a few years. Number 4, can increase the risk of depression and can drain your energy. A study conducted in 2015 on about 86,000 people found out that people that were highly consuming sugar were getting much more depressed, because as a drug, sugar were picking up their sense of satisfaction when they were eating food containing high amount of sugars, and then when the peak of insulin was gone away, they were feeling depressed, and at the same time they were feeling a lack of energy. About the study also, you will find another link in the description of the video, because there's nothing made up here. This is the reason why when you eat a bar of chocolate or you drink a soda, you feel elated for a while, and then when the peak of insulin goes down, then you feel a bit tired and depressed. Number 5, can impact your dental health. As you know, cavities are strictly connected to the use of sugar you make in your diet, and this is because the bacteria that are present in your mouth feed with sugar, and the byproduct that comes out from their digestions is acid, and this impacts the external layers of your teeth. This causes a demineralization of the outside layers of the teeth, and then at the end it creates cavities. In the end, you're not gonna like the final results, because if you experience dental pain, they're a hell of a pain. And also cavities can ruin your smile. So as you can see, sugar is not really good for your health. There are many other reasons why you shouldn't eat sugar. There are too many the video will become boring, but we can go deeper into the subject in the future. As I said before, I'm shooting a new video where I will basically go deeper in the subject and also propose some alternatives or some ways to reduce and in the end eliminate sugar from your diet. Before to go and finish this video, I just want to advise you for a book. This book is called Carb and Calorie Counter, and it's from Chris Cheyette and Yellow Balolier, and basically this book is usually advised for people who suffer diabetes, and the reason is this book comes with photos of meals, snacks, food, breakfast, all of them, and for every picture you find the quantity of the portion and the content in protein, fats and carbs. And this, for a person who suffer diabetes, it can be really useful because they know the amount of sugar taken through the carbohydrates and if they need an insulin injection. You can find the link to buy this book into the description of the video. That's it for today. If you have any question, please leave a comment in the section below. And I'm just left to say, eat well, live well and smile. And for this time I also add eat less sugar. See you next time. Bye.